morning and welcome to the OHIO podcast, day 2 of fall camp review show. Chris, welcome in.
Thank you. Exciting, exciting. We've got real football back, Eric.
We do. Do us a big favor, everybody, and smash that like button to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Ring the bell, get notified every time we go live. And of course, put a comment down in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about what we think. We appreciate each and every single one of you taking the time out of your busy Saturday morning to watch Chris and I, and as we give you our thoughts on day number 2. Now, Chris, we're super excited because while most people are watching this, you and I are actually going to be down at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center watching practice number 3 in person. We're going to have a lot more thoughts tomorrow night and into Sunday for our big Sunday evening roundtable discussion. Of course, make sure you ring the bell so you get notified. You don't miss Sunday night's live show, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on the OHIO podcast. Our special guest is Red. The man is a famous YouTuber, makes tremendous college football content, happens to be a Buckeye fan who was born and raised in Central Ohio, and is a well-known gamer amongst those who play the old video games. So super excited to have him on tomorrow night's show. We're going to have a ton of great topics to go over and dissect. That being said, let's start right here with the news coming out. Of course, if you watched yesterday morning's video, you saw I said, hey, I think we're going to be okay with Eddrick Houston. I think it was not severe, not extreme. That was confirmed today. He was at practice, walking around, had a brace on his knee. It was not an ankle injury. It was a knee injury. Hyperextension of some kind, maybe. But it sounds like he is day to day, might miss a week or two at the most, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and that's huge, Eric, because while I think we have some talent along that defensive line, depth was definitely a concern, especially in the middle of that defensive line. So I think this actually keeps our best guys on the field at their best positions right now. So thankfully, not a huge issue that wheel isn't going to cause him to miss any substantial game time. It doesn't sound like.
There were 3 names given to people who were in his position getting additional reps. One was a 5th-year senior grad, Tywone Malone Jr. You had Jason Moore and Eric Mensah that were both mentioned getting additional reps at that position. Will Smith Jr. is basically, it sounds like Caden McDonald's backup, for a lack of a better term. So getting extra reps for those guys, running with the ones, if you will, although at this time of the year there's really not a 1 or a 2, it's just getting reps in, is a benefit. And if there's any positive that comes out of this, number 1, he sounds like he's going to be okay. Number 2, guys are getting extra reps.
Yeah, and that's huge. They're not game reps, Eric, but even the practice reps are important for these guys. It does nothing but it helps develop the depth.
100%.
If nothing else, it develops depth, and that's something that we learned last year is extremely valuable.
The other big news coming out of day number 2 at camp is that Caleb Downs, he did a few reps day 1 in nickel, and it sounds like he did quite a few more in day number 2. Now, when asked about this, Matt Patricia basically said, we're looking at, he gave the basic coach speak answer. We're looking at guys at different places, but he did say we like having him in the middle of our defense so he can contribute to the run defense, and having him there, as the kind of the quarterback of the defense in the middle. I think having Caleb Downs playing closer to the line of scrimmage, being in the middle of everything, almost as a hybrid-like linebacker, if you will, is only going to be a great thing for the Buckeyes. I think it causes him to get a lot more tackles. I think he's going to possibly get more interceptions. I think he's going to be able to take and help Arvell Reese in that defensive line at times through his intelligence as a football player. I love this move, and I'll tell you, I kind of feel like this might be like a Troy Polamalu type of get him in there.
Yeah.
Remember how Troy was all over the field, different positions. You never really knew where he lined up, and he was just this crazy safety that was like, not that a nickel is that position, but I just feel like you're going to like this is Matt Patricia kind of saying, I can take that weapon and watch what I can do with it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's really going to be able to match his versatility. He's got the skills to play coverage. He's got the skills to be an elite tackler. We've seen that. And to me, he's got the football IQ to really captain that defense, like you said, from the best possible position in the middle of the field. This also, I think, really does something for the Buckeyes should they do this on the back end of that defense, because I think that while we've got a lot of talent at the cornerbacks, I think it's more the talent heavy is on the outside corners as opposed to that nickel. When you talk about guys like, yes, we've got our two starters in Iggy and Jermaine Matthews
Jermaine
Jr.
Matthews Jr. Yeah, and you
But then
got
you look Devin
Devin
Sanchez.
Aaron Scott. Yeah,
But these guys are guys who I think are more fit to play the outside corner roles.
100%.
So this allows you to get him in there, as you said, like a hybrid, a guy who has the coverage abilities of a corner, the tackling ability of a linebacker, uh, but at the same time, it gets you two more very talented safeties on the field, because all we have heard about is how there is like this choice coming down between Jalen McLean and Malik Hartford. Maybe they don't have to make a choice. Maybe they get both
No.
those guys out there, and then you still got guys like Fahim Delane now in that two deep.
Yeah, and it gives you a fifth year senior in Lorenzo Styles Jr. to play. I guess you would say without maybe play without pressure starting off
Yeah,
the season, and get in and spell some guys at the spell the nickel position really at times. But I like the move. I feel like it's putting the best three safeties on the field at the same time.
yeah, and that's huge. And I think you know we talk about this team, and you mentioned it, Eric. I think we're going to need as much up near the line of scrimmage to help as possible. Because while I do think our defensive line is going to get very good, out of the gate they may not be very good. I mean, they're going to be very good. They may not be elite at the beginning.
No,
This is something that helps
they
them
don't have
along.
game reps other than
Correct.
you know Caden Curry was he came in on third downs. Kenyatta Jackson Jr. has probably the most
Yeah.
reps out of that defensive line. Eddrick Houston saw the field quite a bit at the end of the year, but it was at the end of the year. It was in a backup role. Caden McDonald's next to Kenyatta Jackson Jr. is probably the most um, game ready as far as game reps. But those guys aren't going to be able to
And
play every single downs,
right. And
So
having that extra tackler up near the line of scrimmage is going to help.
a
Uh,
hundred percent.
Also, it's going to take some of the pressure off of Arvel Reese and Lorenzo Styles Jr. as well. So I mean, I think it's a
You mean
big
Sonny
benefit.
Styles?
Oh, Sonny Styles, thank you,
Yeah.
Sonny Styles. At the linebacker position, it is a big benefit to the seven guys in the front of the defense to have him slide into that nickel role.
Yeah, the six guys. Yeah.
Six guys, thank you. Sorry, 4-2. Yeah,
Yeah. But with him there, it's a 4-3,
yeah, it really is.
pretty much.
And against a Big Ten schedule where we have a lot of run heavy teams, that's going to be an advantage.
Yeah, and the other thing it does is it doesn't mean you have to go away from your base defense.
Correct.
And so when you play an Iowa or you play a run heavy offense like you said in the Big Ten, and you're like, well, we need three linebackers in here. Well, which guy are we not playing, right? Now you don't have to do that because now you've got a guy in who basically is a linebacker slash safety. He's a hybrid and he can do it all. He's the best defensive player in the country. It makes sense to put that guy in the middle of the defense in a way that can affect the game the most.
Yeah. Absolutely. And don't be surprised if from that position he doesn't end up with 100 tackles this season.
Yeah, might lead the team in tackles. I don't know. From that position,
Go
yeah,
back to the Ronnie Hickman days, only this guy's better.
yeah. So 100%. All right. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Let's do a little bit freshman talk. So some buzz today about our your boy Turbo at
Yeah.
running back Anthony Turbo Rogers. He didn't. He just got to campus a little while ago. Was not an early enrollee. Didn't graduate until May from his high school. So he's one of those late enrollees, and those guys are usually behind the eight ball. But it sounds like this kid, other than just catching up on the playbook, the lingo, and everything, he is flashing. People are noticing that he is a difference maker. And boy, oh boy, one of my concerns is the depth at running back, or at least the running back room, because we just don't have a ton of guys with experience. CJ Donaldson, yes, I know he came from West Virginia. He's got a ton of reps from West Virginia, game reps, but that's West Virginia in the Big 12. That's not the Big 10. James Peoples is only a sophomore. He was third on the depth chart last year. We're going to need a lot of running backs this year, and sounds like we're getting that. We've got it. You got Bo
We
Jackson, you got this guy to go
yes.
along with James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson, and don't forget about Sam Williams-Dixon. He's still there too.
Yeah, we have 5 very capable running backs, and you think about it, they're all, I mean, with the exception of Donaldson, they're all still fairly young.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Peoples and Sean and William Scott, rather,
Sam
they're
Williams-Dixon.
Williams Dixon. Why do I keep? I don't know. Yes,
You're on
Williams
drugs.
Dixon.
Just everybody needs to know Chris is on some good drugs tonight of the medicinal kind.
Yeah, but yeah, he and Peoples are going to have at least one more season after this, and then we got 2 tremendous freshmen who I am so excited to see these guys hit the field.
I'm telling you, man.
This
I
this team is not going to. Everybody keeps talking about the letdown after the national title game because of what we lost.
maybe not.
I'm not so sure that offensively we're going to see a big letdown. I'm not so sure what offensively we may not be better.
I don't know about that, but I think we have potential to surprise some people. Now, I'm not saying it this year, and by any means. I'm not saying it this year, but by the time they're juniors, so 2 years down the road, 2027, Bo Jackson, Turbo Rogers, are we looking at
Best
Quinshon
1-2 punch in
Judkins,
the country.
Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson all over again? Bo Jackson being Quinshon,
Quinshon, yeah,
Turbo
maybe.
being Travion.
Travion. I mean that is a big ask for these young guys.
It's a big ask, but
But I think they're up to the task. These are 2
these are
talented
talented
kids.
young men, man. They are talented young men. So we're gonna get to see them up close in person tomorrow. Last time I went to a scrimmage, I got to watch the running backs. That was where I was concentrating on years ago, and really spent a lot of time watching them and until 7-on-7, and then we got to watch the wide receivers put on a show. That's when I knew that we had our something special in Carnell Tate 2 years ago. And Carnell Tate again today with another great touchdown catch. This one coming from the hands of Lincoln Keenholz. But this the just the level of talent in that wide receiver room is sick. But there's one guy who's getting a comparison. I've heard it now from 3 different people on the beat. They've made this comparison, and that is that Mylan Graham is basically Garrett
Garrett
Wilson
Wilson.
walked back into the Woody.
Yeah. And
It's going to be
that's
hard to keep him off the field
it
if that's the
is.
case.
And you think about this, I mean that really I mean you think about JJ Smith and you want him out there as much as possible. But at the same time, if we got a guy out there with a talent talent base or that can be anywhere near a Garrett Wilson, it doesn't make you nervous if you have to take JJ off the field. But I'll tell you what, opposing teams better be nervous because you've got Smith, you got Tate who will just take the roof off. Brandon Ennis has looked awful good, but is he going to lose reps to Graham? You got to
It
wonder.
sounds like Brandon Ennis is the leader of that room, verbally at
Yeah,
least. And I got to
I
watch his
mean,
interview today, and he's playing. He's the type of kid that at the end of the day, he's just his name isn't as is going to be in the marquee as much as Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, maybe even Mylan Graham in a year, whatever. But I think you put that guy on the field simply because of toughness, grit, and give a damn.
yeah, absolutely. And Eric, I'll tell you, this is a offensive room and this wide receiver room. I truly believe we can run 6 guys out there this year
Yeah,
without missing
and
too much of a
maybe
beat.
we need to put in some four wide receiver packages.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And don't forget, Max Clare is just basically an oversized receiver.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like we usually, we'll run 12 personnel, 11
Yeah.
personnel, and run 3 wide receivers out there the majority of the time in the Ryan Day offense. But maybe, I'm sure that he's got 4 wide receiver plays, man.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
and you want to talk about putting a defensive coordinator in panic mode? You run 4 guys out there, or even 5 guys out there for them to try to stop. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, that's an awful lot for them to try to stop.
And Brian Hartline wants to do that. Brian Hartline wants to go full court. Let's just up tempo, baby. Let's score as many points as possible. By the way, speaking of Brian Hartline, both he and Matt Patricia, they had time with the media again today. Brian Hartline, his confidence in play calling. This guy, I'm telling you, the more I look at him and hear him talk and watch him interact, this is a future head coach. He's currently at the Ryan Day school for finishing head coaches here. He sat under a year of Chip Kelly. You've all heard me say this before, Chris. Everything that man has touched has turned to gold
Mm-hmm.
since he's come back to Ohio State and coached. I'm more confident than ever he is going to be a great offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Yeah, I 100% agree. You've got, and here's the question: are you going to have? I think Hartline's ready before Laurinaitis, and that's the thing, because he's been doing it longer.
Yeah, he's been here longer.
But these are both guys who I think ultimately are going to end up being head coaches at some point, if they want to be.
Right.
That's the whole thing. If they want to be, um,
they might just want to stay here and
what Ryan Day has
build
done,
that legacy, and
because you have to feel like when Matt Patricia goes, if he can give us 2 to 3 seasons, James Laurinaitis is going to be ready to step in.
Yeah, I've also got a theory out there, Chris, that if Matt Patricia stays for, let's say, 2 years, and then he bolts after year number 2, and Luke Fickell gets let go at Wisconsin,
I could see that as well.
he slides back in as defensive coordinator. But it's just a theory. I want to finish up this video, wrap up this video with a quick little QB talk. Again, sounded like today it was a rinse and or Friday was a rinse and repeat of Thursday. It sounds like Lincoln Keenholz is actually turning some heads as far as he's got a command of the offense. His arm is better than some people remember it being in spring. He looks more consistent right now than Julian does. Maybe the pressure's getting to Julian. I don't know. But we're going to go tomorrow. The number one thing you and I are going to be watching for on Saturday. Of course, you're watching this morning on Saturday. So the number one thing we're going to be watching today, I should say, is who do we think is in the lead for this thing? Is it a legitimate quarterback competition? And what are you going to be looking for? Because I'm going to be looking for how the person, how the quarterbacks interact with the offensive line, number one, the receivers, number two, and who is getting and receiving coaching from the coaching staff in between throws and reps, especially during 7-on-7. That's what I'm going to be watching for the most. Not necessarily who throws the prettiest ball, who has the best completion percentage, who had the most touchdowns, who might have thrown an interception. The little things I'm looking for that will kind of tell me where they stand in the pecking order. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, obviously, you kind of touched on it. I want to see who's got command of that offense. And by that, I mean, who is the field general? Who is out there taking charge? That's going to be important for me to see because Will Howard, don't get me wrong, very, very good quarterback, very talented young man. But his talent wasn't his strongest attribute, it was his leadership.
100%.
And that's what I think we continue to need is somebody who can be a leader out there. Um, Now, no doubt in my mind, I mean, I'll 100% say it. Julian Sand has more upside than Lincoln Keenholz. There is so much upside, so much talent in that young man. Um, but if Sand has better command of the offense, and he's making the routine throws routinely, and he's making a spectacular throw every now and then, Eric, I'm telling you what, strap up them boots because this is a real contest.
Yeah. It sounds like first 2 days of practice, reading the tea leaves from the media, reading the tea leaves from fans on social media who are being unbiased. This is maybe a more of a real competition than what we anticipated it being. Now, I think all things being equal, if neither one pulls themselves further ahead, I think you got to go with Julian Singh.
I agree. He's got more longevity for you. I mean, he's going to be there at least this season and next. In the event that if all things like you said are equal, you go with the guy who's going to give you more time.
Yeah.
So
I go back to 2021, right? Yeah,
okay,
2021.
that's CJ.
CJ Stroud,
We had what? We had
Ky-
CJ. We had Jack
Kyle
Miller,
Kyle McCord.
Kyle McCord.
It was the CJ Stroud Kyle McCord competition. Everybody knew it really wasn't that it
That's right.
was CJ Stroud's. However, remember, CJ Stroud didn't start off with the starting the world on fire. And that game 3
Yeah, where he was set against Akron, wasn't it?
sat against Akron and Kyle
For
McCord
a
got the start.
shoulder injury.
I hope we don't have a similar scenario, but I have been saying all off season this whole quarterback situation reminds me so much of Julian Sane, Southern California kid, just like CJ Stroud. Remember, we lost a home game to Oregon early. So will be very interesting to see what happens. Do we get a repeat of Julian Sane starting? Doesn't look great against Texas. Game number 2 against Grambling. In comes Lincoln Keenholz. I hope that doesn't happen, but I've been saying for a while, this reminds me of 2021. I'm wondering if that might not end up the situation here. Just saying. So that's what we're going to be watching for tomorrow. We're going to have something special. Chris, I think we might try to go live tomorrow and let people interact with us in the chat from what we saw. If that's the case, we'll let you all know when we're going to be live tomorrow, either in the afternoon and or in the evening, depending on how Chris feels tomorrow after going out to the Woody the Whack. So, but I'm looking forward to it. And make sure you are a member of this channel. Only costs $3.99. And that you email us at theohiopodcast@gmail.com. So I have your email if you're a member. After 1 month of membership, you get a free t-shirt. And you will get the Ohio State, the OHIO podcast, Ohio State preseason magazine. It is heading to the printers as of tomorrow. And you are going to get a free online version copy of that. It is worth $19.95. And you're going to get it for only $3.99 as a member. Take advantage of that. Join, become a member. Email us at theohiopodcast@gmail.com. Say, hey, I just signed up as a new member. And you will automatically get an email with a link that you can open, and that will take you to the magazine. And you got it for, you saved basically $16 to do it that way. So, and it's worth it. It is awesome. 56 pages, Chris, packed full of Ohio State information, previews, breakdowns, statistics, articles. You're going to love it.
Yeah. I'm so excited, Eric, that this year we are going to have a print version out as well for those who want to keep that.
We're going to try. We're going to try.
I'm telling you, it's exciting. But even if it's just the digital copy you get, you can't beat it. All that great information that we really worked all summer on.
We did. We started this in May.
Yeah.
And 3 months later, we finally wrapped this thing up. So be on the lookout for that, everybody. Let us know what you think about what we think down in the comment section below. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. We will see you later today. We'll see you later today at some point with a live reaction video from our day at day number 3 of fall camp. Till next time, be kind to one another. I, someone's OH. Sing Carbon High with all your heart. You all know what to do. OH.
IO.